Dave Rickards Podcast.
In a tie.
Oh, wow.
That's right. And knickers.
Knickers, yeah, but he was wearing a fucking dress shirt and a tie.
That's in the East.
What year was this?
This is like in the 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was an amateur.
Amateur. Well, that's why there's, as we roll into the history of Augusta, there's
Bobby Jones built
Augusta.
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
That's why the amateurs, there's always is it the top amateur plays with the defending champion the first day?
Is that right?
I think so.
That's fun.
And then the Crow's Nest, which is a place you can sleep if you're playing at Augusta. The amateurs normally bunk up.
right.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, no.
Whatever.
No, go on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Tell us about your meat board.
It's another Dave Rickards podcast coming to you from the lush Loft 100 Studios, where our website is loft100studios.com.
It is.
We got the whole crew here. Jared Coleman is not here, and that's his job. His job is to not be here and stay out of the way so that Christy Castillo can run the show.
Yep.
Which she does. Hollywood is here. Jason, good to see you. He's on the floor. He runs the show inside the studio. And Miles and Christian and Curtis are doing everything that no one else can do.
Best in the business.
They're the best they are. And right before the cameras went on, we had a little side discussion about subtitles, which I'm a big fan of. I've been using subtitles on TV for over 10 years.
Wow.
And because, I'll sit with my family and they're wrapped with the movie that's going on. And I'm like, I'm lost because I'm picking up 40%.
Yeah.
So I've got some sort of hearing loss in a mid-frequency where I can't hear a lot of sound.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it is, but I just know that. And so I started watching subtitles, which bugged me because it distracts you. You're reading on the low instead of watching in the high.
Yep.
But then I realized by watching subtitles, I was picking up a lot more than the hearing special people. And I swear,
Bastards.
I've got this idea, which I don't think is original, but I wish they would do it. I wish the movie theaters would put. I wish they would put subtitles in infrared, so that if you want subtitles, here are the glasses.
Oh my God.
And you can read subtitles. I went to the accountant this week, Accountant 2.
Yeah.
And I'm halfway through this thing. I have no idea what's going on. I just can't tell. I like The Accountant, the first movie, the Ben Affleck movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so in this one, he and his brother
Yeah.
are much more prominently featured, the little brother.
Okay.
And I'm like halfway through, and I'm like, I have no idea who they're fighting. I don't know why they're fighting them. Nothing. I cannot pick up the dialogue. It was like muddy. And
Are they speaking with a Boston accent?
No, there's no accent.
Just normal.
No, it was not hard. I'm just not picking it up. And so I walked out.
Oh.
I had to do it for Peaky Blinders
Yeah, accents.
because that Cockneyed British,
Yeah.
whatever they speak, oh my, like every fourth word. And now I'm watching Mobland with
Yeah.
Tom Hardy and Pierce Brosnan. Great, by the way.
I want to watch that.
And Brosnan, I think, is Welsh,
Yes.
which is just a lot of W's and B's and L's. What happened on the west coast of England? They went all gobbledygook over there. Something fucked.
Don't marry your sister.
Whatever. I don't know.
No, he's so phenomenal in his role, and Helen Mirren as well. But yes, I must watch subtitles for that as well.
Yeah.
And it's only the British movies.
But you'll get so much more.
Yes.
I mean, these shows, the people will talk very quietly. And then they're screaming their heads off, and then they're talking very quietly. And you'll see and hear everything.
Yeah.
I love it. Big subtitles.
Downton Abbey was the only English series I watched that I did need subtitles.
Yeah.
Because it was the proper King's English.
You know what? So if there are subtitles on the screen, what I can't figure out is if you legitimately are deaf and you need them, and they put a description on saying birds are chirping.
Yeah.
Well, if you never heard a bird chirping, how would you know what that means?
I suppose that's
That's
valid.
really astute.
Valid. Yep.
Dog barking.
Yeah, dog barking. It's like,
What does that sound like?
I don't know.
You think it's a tease?
I think it's cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, too bad you can't hear the wind whooshing.
That is so, Sean, 1,000 points for you. I'd never thought about that.
Describe the color blue to a blind person who's never had sight. Well, it's like the sky. Stupid. Hey, follow up. I finally discovered on my own what the change was in my house. Remember last week I told you?
Yes.
My wife was teasing me?
Yeah.
If you missed it, last week my wife said, "Do you notice anything?" Which I hate. I hate because I don't notice anything. No, I don't. I don't notice anything. If you changed all the furniture in this house to completely different furniture, I'd come home, I'd sit down, and I'd be like, "Hey, what's going on?" So I asked like 15 different questions, and she happened to be out of the house one day, and I was on the phone with her, and I realized what happened was that she had eaten the ears off she got me a giant chocolate bunny. Giant.
Okay.
And she had eaten the top inch of the ears off. It was dumb. It was a throwaway. Mystery solved. But I mean, are you observant on that stuff? Not a chance.
Because if my wife were to say something to me of notice anything different, I will go like this. "Oh, your hair looks awesome."
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice try.
Yeah.
I went with that one.
No,
it didn't work.
No. I could walk into my house and they could be tied up, gagged on the floor with robbers standing over them.
Yeah.
And I just walk in. "Hey, where are you guys? Hey, I'm home."
I'm lucky I walk into my house. Seriously. I can't tell you how many times I've walked by the living room, which, does anyone use their living room?
No.
We don't use our living room.
We don't even have one.
I've walked by the living room so many times, up and down the hall, and she'll go, "I'm right here." And I'll be like, "Oh." Well, we don't use that room, and I don't know what you're using it for. Seems wrong.
It's funny. We have a step-down living room.
So do we.
Okay. And we have dog gates around it because there's good furniture in there and we don't want a dog hair and all this other crap. There's a week will go by where I'll be going to bed like on a Sunday night, and for some reason I'll remind myself, "You didn't go in the living room at all this week." It's the strangest thing.
It's a waste.
Yeah.
It's
Wasted real estate.
You only use it when you have company or like a holiday or
holidays,
whatever.
My radio co-host put a pool table in his.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's smart.
I think so too, but
Yeah. And we hung a big.
many wives don't go for that.
Dude. Oh, no, a pool table?
No. No, they're not.
We hung a big, beautiful TV in the living room, and it's got very comfortable, fun furniture, but
Yeah.
we're never in there.
So
Right.
where do you hang out?
Kitchen and family room.
Yeah.
And the breakfast
The
nook.
rumpus room,
The rumpus
the
room.
rumpus
where you're
room.
supposed to hang.
Yeah, where you could just beat the shit out of the furniture that's in there, and the dogs are sleeping on you. And
Speaking of wives, I did stand on I stepped right onto a landmine.
Oh, I love this.
The wife is out in the desert for the big hee-haw fest.
yeah.
What do they call that?
Stagecoach.
Yes, Stagecoach. Which, by the way, now features Sammy Hagar, Creed.
Oh, everybody.
Oh, really?
All the genres and mixes and formats are blending, all kinds of shit, yeah. And someone had taken a picture of her because she's got a new cowboy hat and sent this shot to me.
Okay.
And she goes, "She looks so great." And so I texted back to this group, "She's a dime." And I hit send, okay?
Okay.
No problem. What I didn't know is that my iPhone, I don't know if you've ever texted, but it will like anticipate the rest of your sentence for you.
Correct.
So I wrote, it didn't correct anything, it added. I mean, it was bad enough when you were trying to write to someone, "Fuck you," and
Yeah.
they were like, "Truck."
Yeah, duck.
Yeah, truck, duck. It's like, can you stop pretending that you were made by nuns?
I want to swear.
Can you wake up? Can you get to 2025 with me here? Come on, be real.
Yeah.
So autocorrect was bad enough. Now they're finishing your sentences for you or adding sentences onto you, which that's really overstepping.
Yeah.
So I wrote, "She's a dime." Do you want to guess what it had added after I hit send? A dozen.
Oh.
She's a dime a dozen. And I sent it.
Oh. What happened?
What happened is you try to explain to people, if you text it,
it
it will go.
Yeah.
And everyone immediately whips out their phones and says, let me try. Mine didn't do it.
Oh.
Yep. There are just some wormholes. You're better just dealing with your blowing off legs. Just go on with your life instead of trying to explain
Accept your fate.
Accept your fate.
That's right.
Your life is so much simpler.
That's it.
And time is
That's
not wasted.
brutal.
I know. She's a dime a dozen. They send this nice compliment, and I'm like, whatever, I've seen it. I've been there. I've had them all over the world.
Oh my God.
Pretty rough.
That is rough.
Mr. Waltz.
Pretty rough. Hey, I'm willing, people say that's a hill I'm not willing to die on. You pick your battles, which one.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't like that I'm willing to die on this hill, but it might be. This might be my hill.
Okay.
It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh. This is interesting.
You think?
We talked about it when she was out. Who was nominated?
Yeah, and I have the ones who made it in and the ones who didn't, but it's so subjective, right? And my complaint with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, let me tell you who's in, okay? The newest, and these people are no longer nominated, now they're in.
Okay.
And you can tell me if you like it. Bad Company, great.
Yes.
Chubby Checker,
Sure.
fine, whatever. Joe Cocker.
Sure. I don't love him, but I get it.
Love Lift.
Cyndi Lauper.
Longevity, maybe?
Outcast.
No.
Soundgarden.
Yes.
Soundgarden to me is fucking rock and roll, baby.
Yeah.
That's a rock and roll.
Absolutely.
It's like the first rock and roll group you've had.
No, Bad Company.
Oh, Bad Company, sorry.
And the White Stripes.
Yeah, I feel like they're too new. Like they're too recent to be
Just rename
inducted.
it the Music Hall of Fame.
Well, we're going to get to that.
Okay, so-
Those who didn't make it, the Black Crowes, that's a rock and roll band.
Yep.
Yeah?
Billy Idol,
Oh,
roll?
that's sad.
Oasis,
That's not us.
and not making it on the first try, Mariah Carey.
Oh,
now-
that's good.
As you touched on, they called it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In retrospect, I really believe they should have called it the Pop Music Hall of Fame. Popular Music
Popular
Hall
music,
of Fame,
sure,
something.
sure.
So many of these are not rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's being a rock snob, working at really big rock and roll radio stations through that's not rock and roll, man."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who wants to talk to that guy?
Yeah.
But this is I'm not willing to let this go.
I love it. Good.
I'm not willing to let this go.
Good.
Cyndi Lauper is a no.
Right. I agree.
Cyndi Lauper is a no. Outkast is a no.
Yep.
Chubby Checker, I let Chubby Checker in because back in his day, that was rock and roll.
Yes.
Was Chubby the Twist?
Yes.
Yeah, come on, baby, do the twist. But
Yeah.
let me read a list of people who are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that I disagree with.
Okay.
And you can tell me well, wait a minute.
Okay.
They deserve to be
I'll
in.
say it exactly like that.
But I'm telling you, these people do not deserve
All right.
a seat, a bust, a medal, whatever it is you get. I don't know what you get for being in the Rock
Okay.
and Roll Hall of Fame, but Ray Charles can get the fuck out. If someone will show him the door, get out. Ray Charles. Wow.
I disagree.
Well, show me where it is. Now, you were program director of what radio station?
Rock 105.3,
And
KGB.
how many Ray Charles songs did we play?
Well,
None.
but he was one of the forefathers of rock.
No.
In no way
no,
whatsoever. He was a soul.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
soul rock is kind of based on blues and
No, I
soul.
don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear people who are rock and roll stars in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you want to have a forefather Hall of Fame, great. Ray Charles and George Washington can go into that hall.
Well, then add Chubby Checker to that. Then.
No, Chubby Checker was rocking at the beginning when that was rock and roll.
Yeah.
Ray Charles never rocked and rolled.
No.
Georgia? Are you going to tell me you're going to play Vomit on the Puppies and then here comes some Ray Charles? Aretha Franklin. What is her name? Queen of rock and
Soul.
roll? No.
Soul. Yeah.
Get out.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Darin.
No, that's not rock and roll.
He's a swing baby.
Yeah.
He
No,
swings.
yeah.
He swings.
Look out. Yeah.
Simon and Garfunkel.
F no.
What part of Bridge Over Troubled Water rocks you?
Aren't they folk?
Of course.
They are folk.
Yeah.
They're not rock and roll
Yeah.
in any way whatsoever.
Yeah. Great songs. Sound of
Please,
Silence.
You don't have to suck their dicks.
No, I'm not. But I'm saying
Their dicks have been sucked.
The Graduate soundtrack, fantastic, but not rock and roll.
Johnny
Hall of
Cash,
Fame.
get out of here.
Wait a minute.
You heard me. You heard me.
No, Johnny.
Show me where on Rock 105's playlist. Coming up next, we've got some Johnny Cash.
Actually, we did play a song
The
by
novelty song.
A Boy Named Sue.
Hurt.
Yeah.
He
okay.
redid a 9 Inch Nails song.
Yeah, and you know what? It was a mistake to play it.
I agree.
It was a mistake
I
to play
hated
it. It was
it.
bad
David,
programming.
Johnny Cash, man, that's Chuck Berry rock and roll, baby, right
He's
there.
not rock and roll. He's country music. He is the first one in the Country Music Hall of Fame. The first one. He's on the fucking Mount Rushmore. He is the president, the dean, the deacon, the Ayatollah of country music, not rock and roll.
Ayatollah, a rock and roller. Okay, we'll agree
Bob
to disagree.
Marley.
No.
Out.
No.
Fuck, I hate
The Bee Gees.
No. Absolutely.
And
not.
I love the Bee Gees,
Yeah.
but
Easy.
I know. Save that clip.
Easy. Edit point.
I do love the Bee Gees. Yeah, but not Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Is it Fanny Be Tender, or What Do You Do with a Broken Heart? Which one that touches you?
Jive talking.
Or are you full on disco? Are you
I love disco. Yeah.
Are you Saturday Night Fever?
Why not? How Deep Is Your Love? It's a great one. It's pretty
Joni
deep.
Mitchell?
No.
Get
Pack
the-
it up. Pack it up.
No.
Beat it, Joni.
James Taylor.
He's like along the same lines
He's up
as
on
Simon.
the roof.
Yeah.
Big deal.
James, you know who James Taylor is?
Yeah, he's a pussy. He's not rock and roll. No one goes rock and roll and pussy, and I'm talking about that kind of pussy, not that kind of pussy. They don't belong in the same sentence.
James Taylor is the guitar player in Animal House when John Belushi comes down the stairs in the toga.
No, he's not.
And no, but I'm just saying that's who I picture James Taylor every time I see that character.
Yeah, but you know who that is?
No.
It's Stephen Bishop. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yes.
Holy crap, I never
Literally
knew that.
Stephen Bishop.
Okay.
Jay-Z. You know he bought his
Oh
way.
God, yeah. No.
Cool and the Gang
Nope.
are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Celebration? Every wedding reception you've ever been to?
She's fresh. She's
Celebration.
Cool again?
That's a huge.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking Casey and the Sunshine
Our own
Band.
Christy Castillo is getting married here in a number of weeks. I guarantee.
You
she's
have
not,
to.
She's not listening, but she'll probably play that song.
Willie Nelson.
No.
Country Music Hall of Fame, not
I agree.
rock and roll.
Yeah.
No outrage for Willie Nelson. You're willing to go up on a cross for Johnny Cash, but not Willie Nelson?
He always looks like
That
someone just.
dirty hippie.
Yeah. Johnny Cash kind of has a rock and roll vibe to him.
No, he
but-
doesn't. He's
Yeah,
just an
he
outlaw.
does.
Black, slick that hair.
An outlaw. He's just an addict outlaw. If he was part of your family, you'd hate his guts. God damn, Johnny Cash is ruining the Easter again.
Uncle Johnny.
Lionel Richie.
No.
Oh!
What?
No!
Lionel Richie is in the Rock and Roll Hall. Hey,
Hello?
he's dancing on the ceiling. How do you do that?
Because the
I love him,
facelift alone should eject him from the Rock and Roll Hall of
I
Fame.
have mad respect for Lionel Richie.
His face
But he
is like a
should not
female
be in the
part.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Carly Simon.
No. She's like
You're
Joni
so
Mitchell.
vain. Yeah, she is. Get out of here.
Dolly Parton.
Oh, see, I love her.
Of course you do.
This is gonna hurt.
Who doesn't love Dolly Parton? She can be in all the different Hall of Fames that are appropriate. She doesn't get to be in all of them just because you like her.
She did have a rock. So this is what I will say.
Hey,
about,
why don't we put her in the Golf Hall of Fame?
Do
Because I
you?
like her.
But-
Let's
but-
put her right next to Tiger Woods. Why? Because I like her.
But you have to know, you read that whole thing with her when she was nominated for it. She withdrew her nomination because of exactly what you said. She was like, I don't do rock and roll. I shouldn't be nominated. I shouldn't be inducted. And then afterwards, she created a rock album with all the big rock artists after she was.
And they sounded exact like Dolly, which is
Just to prove that she was rock and roll.
No,
So
it wasn't
weird.
that she proved, but she was like, I think it's a cool move on her
But I mean,
part.
listening to
She's
Dolly.
an angel. Don't
I'm a mulatto, a mosquito, my libido.
Come again.
don't you talk shit.
Carole
about-
King.
No.
I gotta say this though, I do love some Carole King songs.
Great. I didn't say you can't. You can still love her. Just keep her out of the Rock and Roll
My
Hall of
bad.
Fame.
Okay,
Whitney
yeah.
Houston.
Yeah, no. No.
So uber freaking talented, but no, she's not Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
The closest she got to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is that she died of a drug overdose. Those are her qualifications. That's about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, she didn't do anything rock and roll.
No, you're right. Yeah, I gotta wear that.
Yeah, I know that's harsh, man, but welcome to rock and roll. Rock and roll is harsh.
They do need to change the name of it.
It was the wrong name.
It's just Music Hall of Fame.
The Music Hall of Fame. And that's why I say it's got to be the Pop Music Hall of Fame, because there's the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, all
Yeah.
these people that you argued with, like Johnny Cash, I like Johnny Cash so much. Okay, great. Are we going to put him in the Classical Music Hall of Fame right next to
Right.
Beethoven?
Right. You know how much I think Whitney Houston's rendition of the Star Spangled Banner at the Desert Storm Super Bowl 25, I think it was. I think that should be the national Super Bowl national anthem. Does that make sense? That every year you just play that on tape instead of getting someone to sing it or butcher it? That's what. Okay.
No,
All right, we
I
move
don't
on.
think that.
Okay.
Harsh, see?
So harsh.
It's not easy.
I don't.
It's not easy out there. It's rough going out there for a bitch, especially if you got any money invested in the stock market. I think it's time to say hello to our partner, Mr. Brent Wilsey at Wilsey Asset Management, where we are going to help you in every aspect of your financial life. What do you got? An individual, a joint account, a 401k, an education fund. Have you got one of these yet?
Yes.
For your son?
Yes.
Is it maxed out?
No.
Uh-oh. You need to talk to Brent
yeah.
Wilsey at Wilsey Asset Management. You click on smartinvesting2000.com. The smartest thing that you would do today
Yes.
is click on that and sign up for his newsletter.
Yes.
What do you think? He's writing it for his health?
No, he's writing it for us.
That's
for
right.
people like me that don't get it.
So let's say hello to Mr. Wilsey today and find out what the state of the affairs are, Brent.
Well, yes. I mean, and actually, you're right. That newsletter, it's a 5-minute read. You'll learn so much out of it. But I always try to pick topics that are in the news and important to investing. And I'm sure you heard about Harvard suing the government and so
Yes.
forth. I kind of looked at this, and you may not realize, but there's about 658 institutions in the country that have in their endowment funds about $874 billion. Now, if you do the rounding, you're talking nearly $1 trillion. I mean, this is just crazy why these institutions are taking money from our government that you pay taxes into. That's just crazy. And that's part one. I want to get people kind of understanding that. But what is even more crazy is how they invest the money. Now, their goal is to earn around 8% per year, and they pay out about 4.5% to 5% per year. But unfortunately, when they did a survey, only one quarter, 25% of about 125 endowment funds were earning anywhere near that 8% return over 10 years. And the reason for this is just as you were talking, and I'm surprised by this. These are smart guys. They're not investing properly. I mean, they invest 39% in private equity. I won't touch private equity. Those people make so much money off of private equity, 2% or more, sometimes 3 or 4%. The investor doesn't make money. Hedge funds, 32% of the money is in hedge funds. They have about 5% in real estate, 3% in real assets, and only 3% in cash. I mean, the industry has become so tainted where it's more about Wall Street making big money, big dollars, that the investor is losing out. And we do very simple things at Wilsey Asset Management. We invest in good quality businesses that pay nice dividends, that long-term people do well. We talk about earning 8, 10, maybe 12% on average. And I was just so disappointed that not only are these big universities, these big institutions, taking money from the government. Also, by the way, they don't pay taxes. They don't pay property taxes, yet Harvard still charges $57,000 a year for tuition, but I keep getting off on that. you've got to invest your money properly is what you have to do.
That's crazy because, Sean and I were talking about that last week. Harvard's got $53 billion in the bank. The worst financial manager in the world should be able to set them up so that they never have to collect another dime again.
Yeah.
So it's maddening and it's galling. But let's say we don't have $53 billion. I'm just shy of that.
Yeah.
$53 billion in the bank. What do you identify as a smart move that I could literally do, something I could do today, Brent? What do you think is a good move for me to do today?
Well, Dave, I will say if you had your money with me, you would be at $53 billion.
I'm coming there today.
But no, seriously. I mean, you have to step, and I always say investing is simple, but it's not easy. It takes time. I mean, we spend 10, 15, 20 hours before we make a decision to invest in any investment, and sometimes it's 3, 4 weeks, months. We're very slow doing that. The thing you have to realize, Dave, it's not a gambling chip. It's not Vegas. You are investing into good quality investments longer term. We just bought a company. I think I may have talked about this last week, but we just bought a tool company that had a high of 220. We bought it around 61, pays a 5.3% dividend. They've increased that dividend every year for over 50 years. I don't know where this is going to go tomorrow, next day, next week, but I do know long term, we're going to make some pretty good returns off of this business. So you got to step back and try to get away from the Wall Street game, because Wall Street will win, investor loses. You have to invest properly.
And I want to remind all our friends that aside from all that great advice and the newsletter, Brent is a fiduciary, which means he has an honorable duty, responsibility to make sure everything's cool with you before he earns a dime. That's my definition of fiduciary, and I think it's pretty close. At Wilsey Asset Management, where we use common sense, transparent approaches to investment strategies, we give our clients the peace of mind to make the right financial decisions, so invest wisely when you invest with Wilsey Asset Management. Remember, it's smartinvesting2000.com. Click on that today, subscribe to that newsletter, and earn your $53 billion and open your own damn Harvard. Thank you, Brent. Thank you to our partner,
Dave.
Brent
Have a good
Wilsey.
one. Right.
Oh, he's so good. Love it, man. $53 friggin' billion.
It's crazy. And the president is trying to hold back on some of that contribution because he doesn't like their anti-Semitic attitudes. And I'm just like, I don't care if they're the nicest people in the world. They got enough money. Stop giving them.
Done.
Yeah. Done.
Yeah.
You got enough.
Go find a high interest account to put your $53 billion in, and you're on easy street, Crimson.
Well, Harvard says well, we've got $53 billion, but we're not allowed to touch that. Shut up. Touch it. Well, that's not our policy. Then you got to fuck up.
What are they doing with that?
That's not our problem.
Touch it.
You like to stare at it. Morons.
I have been struggling with what news do I want to watch. Okay. And just on Sunday night, I wanted to see how the two sides of the political spectrum were covering the news.
Yeah.
So I opened up the New York Post, and their headline was, "Crazy woman driver at the wheel of the Black Hawk helicopter that crashed in the Potomac and killed everybody."
Yeah.
Who wouldn't take directions from air traffic control.
Typical.
And then I opened up USA Today, and their headline was, "Ted Cruz is sending 2-year-olds with cancer back to El Salvador to be imprisoned."
Yes.
So it's here, it's there.
Yes.
And what's the news?
Yeah.
I have found my eyewitness news anchors, my favorite eyewitness news reporters of all time. Let's watch this video. It's my favorite.
Then car thief emerging from the wreck. Here's some of what they had to say.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run, he's got a gun." And our heart started to pound, and I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?" And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?" Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, "I'll shoot you." She goes, "Hey, I'm here to help." And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, I'll find you and I'll shoot you. All I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire. Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there and we were past our
Maybe
driveway.
100 meters.
Yeah. You don't think of all of that at the time. No, you just run for your safety.
Witnesses are recounting.
It's good to see the twins from The Shining do so well, you know? Who knew that they'd end up with a news job? And they dress alike. That's my favorite part. They dress alike.
It was like a person, it was like Delay.
Yeah.
Like a real life version of being on Delay.
Unbelievable.
That wasn't, how annoying. Like, could you imagine going to school with those kids or having them as your kids? Holy fuck. Like, honestly, no. I would be in jail for murdering my children.
So they sound Australian. Are they Aussies?
That's my guess, yeah.
Okay, but it looked like it was a BBC or something. It doesn't matter what this. That is, I don't know what I'm more annoyed at. Just them by themselves or the fact that they're still dressing alike.
Dress is alike, hair is alike.
I hate that.
Do you?
Shit. Oh, it's like when you're small, it's cute.
What's the cutoff age? 10, something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. Yeah.
Didn't those girls look like they were in like their 40s?
Yes.
Oh, older.
Yes.
All right, easy. Claws back in. Easy, Wolverine. Jesus.
And I hope to God that they have not married and procreated. I swear we don't need that in the world.
Well, you know, the funny thing is those two became overnight sensations.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that little bit there. And so they've been interviewed. They interview the exact same way. Yeah.
So now it's just
You're turned off.
You know, no offense to twins out there, but I used to want twins. Then I got to know some twins. And I am so glad I didn't have twins.
Twins run.
They're kind of weird.
But on my
Kinda
mother's
weird.
side of the family,
But
and
yeah.
I remember my Uncle Bill he's passed on, but Stacy and Tracy.
Of course. Good thing there were only twins, because I don't think there's a third one. There's Stacy, Tracy, and Casey.
Yeah.
Macy.
Yep.
Gracie. Actually, you could have quintuplets.
Yeah.
And they looked a little like Haley Mills, like from
Yeah.
the Parent Trap, the original Parent Trap, as I date myself. But they were just eternally happy and bouncing off the walls.
That's cute.
All the time.
Those two gals on the news there look like they're about 5 years away from opening up a still like the old ladies on the Waltons. And just
The recipe.
just old ladies who their whole world is them together. Two old matronly ladies. I mean, I like them a lot.
You do?
I do.
No.
I don't have to live with them. I can just watch them.
I'd hire them for like a Christmas party, just to go. You know what? You're just guests of mine, but anybody that comes up and talks to you, you both have to just talk at the same time.
Can you imagine being their teacher in school?
Oh, did they sit next to each other?
Probably.
No, couldn't have been.
Where they like one gets in trouble and the other one they're answering. I'd be like, get the fuck out of my class. I'm sorry. That's gross. That's creepy.
But you know, they talk about like if you chop off one twin's arm, the other one is going to feel the pain.
Yeah.
That's
For real.
That is something.
They're
right?
connected.
They're connected. Thank you.
They've got Wi-Fi between their skulls.
Yeah. There's a chip.
There's some sort of connection. You can't see
Yeah.
it. But
That's amazing.
I like those two girls. Not a military guy here. I've done some military work, but never an official military guy. You?
I am not a military guy.
Tons in the family, but no, I never served.
I would say, aside from it looking like something I don't want to do in the first place, not my chosen career, the whole big open bathroom, toilets with no dividers between them, sorry, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
It's a massive disqualifier for me.
Yeah, it's not going to work for me.
Nope.
That and all the other shit that they got to do. And I was watching an induction test on the military from some different countries. Oh. And check this one out from the Indian Army. These are new recruits for the Indian Army being checked out. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Is he trying to make it squeak? What exactly is this test?
What is that? Mike, what is that?
This,
From what I understand, if you blast wood, you're gay and you're out.
I was wondering if that's what it was.
Whoa, hey,
Oh,
He might have had something there. I'm not sure. Look how proud that guy is.
Damn.
He's holding his breath.
He is the leader of the platoon right there.
And this is the Indian Army.
The Indian Army, yeah. Corporal, bring me my special genital groping gloves.
This is my rifle. This is my gun. This is for loving. This is for fun.
I guess if there's any detail, that's enough, Christy. Thank you so much.
And how about that poor guy that who was assigned to do that job?
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing. He's not even in the Army. He just walked in off the street. You know. And they're just like, all right.
Camos, check.
Don't you dare question what's
Gloves,
going on.
check.
Yeah,
So they're
from what
really
I understand, they're checking to see.
For an erection?
It's the Francis Sawyer test. Any of you homos touch me,
I'll
kill you. Stripes?
I
Nothing?
can, no.
No stripes?
I mean,
Lighten
back in the
up,
day.
Francis.
You know Francis Sawyer? Any of you homos?
Psycho?
No, like
The name's
Stripes,
Francis
you
Sawyer.
guys.
Huh?
Stripes came out in what year?
I don't know. You know Abe Lincoln, don't you? He came out a couple years before you were born. Come on.
You've never seen Stripes?
Yes, like in 1978.
No, Stripes was post Caddyshack.
There used to be a TV
mid-80s, I
show,
think.
Stripes, too.
Was there?
think.
Oh, always a smart idea.
I think.
I like that, when people say, I'm playing a song. Isn't this a great song? Oh, it's a little before my time. Oh, really? Can you sing Happy Birthday? Pretty sure that was written before your time. You know that one, though, don't you?
The national anthem, ring a bell.
Check this one out. This test that the Portuguese commandos
Okay.
have to endure, see if you feel a little claustrophobic, a little squinchy watching this test.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, no.
Oh,
nope,
okay.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh,
we're good.
No.
Yeah, that's an MRI right there.
Yep.
No thanks.
Yep. With drowning
And
water.
he's got to go through all the way through the tube.
Yeah, who
See?
even knows how long that sewer is? It's at least as long as a driveway.
Yeah, no.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm good.
Nope.
I'm good.
Nope.
That is rough.
Yeah.
No.
And here's the thing. This is just obviously training or a test. I better have a freaking long rope tied to one of my ankles that if I get stuck or wedged or have a freak out,
Yeah.
pull me out of there.
That's why we're not commandos. We may go commando, but that's as close as it gets.
No.
Yeah, that was awful.
That's a job you don't want to do.
Which do you think is worse, going through the tube or getting your...
Oh, I'd much rather get fondled. Fondle me all day long.
Me too. Because I can't achieve an erection anymore, so I'm scot-free.
Save that clip.
Oh, you know what?
Now listen, we've all had days where we show up for work and I don't want to work today. Oh. And I may not do my best work today.
Yeah.
We've all had them.
Yes.
And if today is your day, I hope that we're going to cheer you up enough so that you can muscle through your day and do your best. Some people are not allowed to have that kind of day at work. And a 911, 911 operator is one of those people. This caller in Houston called 911 because his wife had collapsed and she had no pulse. Okay, that's calling 911. I don't know if any of you guys have had any experience calling 911, but it's no fun.
No, it's,
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Krishanda Williams answered.
Okay.
She said, "This is Krishanda, may I help you?" And the guy said, "Wife's passed out, I need an ambulance," he said. Krishanda said, "Okay," hung up.
What?
He had to call back. And he got someone else on the line, and that person talked to them, got an ambulance, rushed this woman to the hospital. She survived her ordeal. She's okay. An audit shows that Krishanda hung up on more than 800 callers over a 5-month period.
Whoa.
She said, "I just didn't want to talk. at those
Oh
times.
my God.
Oh my God.
I just didn't feel like talking to those people.
Wow.
So what do you get for that? What's the punishment for that? You're a 911 operator,
Yeah.
and you have hung up on 8. Now, I don't know how many
Word.
of the 800 were legitimate
Yeah.
emergencies.
No,
'Cause I think
my pizza's late.
Yeah.
Call.
I think 911 gets abused, but
Dave, you got to figure at least 10 of them were, right?
easily.
Odds are.
Oh, yeah.
Life and death.
So what do you do what's the punishment for someone who hangs up on 800? She's a 911 operator. Your training is, even if people abuse it and do it wrong, you tell them, hey,
Yeah.
wrong place to
Right.
call.
Yeah.
Don't screw with me, and
Yep.
you hang
Right.
up.
I'm going to assume that when you become a 911 operator, there is some sort of I hate
Like
to
an
say
oath,
you
kind
swear
of.
an oath, but I don't know if it's like the Hippocratic oath that doctors take, et cetera. But there's got to be some sort of, hey, listen, you may be the difference between, you literally are the difference between life and death.
I don't know. Is it a division of the police department?
Yeah,
I believe it is.
Yeah, so it's like you probably kind of take a similar oath like what police officers do to serve and
Yeah.
protect and
Yeah.
da-da-da-da-da. So if they're in violation of that, then, I would think that she would be charged with negligence. or
Here,
something.
let's take emotion out of it. If you're the police department, the lawsuit that I'm going to file against you because you hired her, she hung up on me, and either my loved one didn't get the emergency service that they would have needed to keep them alive, I am going to take you for every cent you have, if that's the case.
She got 10 days in jail and 18 months of probation. Now, what's the probation? Is that 18 months of probation on the job?
Oh, God,
Like they got to
I
watch her
hope
for
not.
18 months? I don't want the woman.
She should be terminated
No, yeah,
immediately.
Exactly.
Gone.
Yeah.
She did get 10 days in jail.
I don't think that's
Jesus.
enough.
No, it's not.
She should have got a day for every call she hung up on.
Ooh, look at you.
Eye for an eye,
Judge
man.
Judy. Love it.
Well, that's
That would
pretty
make
good.
sense.
2.5 years in jail.
Yeah. Or go spend time with the family that lost a loved one
Oh,
because
brother, here
you hung up on them.
Here we go.
Go see how life
Thinking
for them
sympathetic judge.
is.
Walk a mile in their shoes.
No, I no penalty.
Are these Johnny Cash lyrics or something like that you're quoting to me? What is this?
They're Carole King.
I love the Bee Gees.
Bee Gees.
How come you're not-
Fanny be tender with my love.
Bee Gees are also Bee Gees had great makeout music when you're 7th and 8th grade.
Bee
you're
Gees
just-
were insanely talented.
Yes.
See?
Keep them out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? Have you guys ever been in a gender-neutral bathroom? And I don't mean the kind where you walk in and there's one toilet and it's like men, women, anyone can walk in. I'm talking about the big bathroom. It's a big bathroom. There are many, 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 many stalls,
Right.
and men and women are in it simultaneously. I've got one experience with it.
I don't think I have, actually.
I can tell you about it. I went to this meeting for a client I was doing commercials for, some hotel downtown, and it says, I forgot what it said on the outside of the bathroom. It had a sign that was not meant to be understood,
Yeah.
It was written in 21st century language, which, I'm a boomer, and I don't get it.
Was it just a big question mark?
I don't know. I was able to crack the code that there was a toilet in there somewhere.
all you need.
So I ventured in, and I very quickly became aware, here we go. I'm in one of those.
Wow.
And I was in my 50s at the time, so I'd lived 50 years without experiencing this.
Yeah.
And I'm in there, and I am in there with women, men and women, in the stalls together at the same time.
Oh.
I'm not a fan.
That's uncomfortable.
It is. I've only experienced it one time in my life, and I thought for a minute, it's like, all right, maybe it isn't so weird. Maybe it isn't so icky. It was weird, and it was icky.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things that I'm open-minded to it,
Yeah.
and I've decided I don't like it. It's okay to be open-minded and decide, open-minded doesn't mean you have to change your mind.
Yeah.
It means you give it an
Yes.
you give it an opportunity to resonate in you and see if it changes your mind. Didn't change my mind.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. And I don't know why any woman would.
No, as a woman, I would be very uncomfortable if there was a guy in the stall next to me. I would be like looking on the floor, looking up above, seeing if they were trying to get a peep show going on, somewhere.
Oh, that's a good point.
So, no, super uncomfortable. And even a step further, there's a restaurant by me. It's Stone Brewery, where I think it's like the guys go on one side and the girls go on the other, but the washing hand station is in the middle, and it's very confusing. But even that, I'm like, no.
One side of the washing station is just disgusting and dirty.
Can we not just put a wall up and like call it a day?
I think any woman that spends a modicum of time in a men's bathroom will never ever go in there or want to be in a bathroom with guys.
Well, I have been. When we're at stadiums.
Someone just,
And the women's lines are so freaking long. And then there's like women that'll guard to make sure guys won't go in because there's none.
I
and
get
it's
that.
gross. But
if you're a woman and if you choose to go share a bathroom with guys, that we will change your mind so fast.
Yeah.
Let me read you the letter.
Okay.
This is from Lil Dev, who says, I used a gender-neutral bathroom today, and 2 men came in while I was washing my hands. Man number 1 didn't care and used the bathroom in front of me. Man 2 waited outside the bathroom till I left after seeing me inside. I thank Man 2 for respecting my privacy. I felt so violated.
Fuck you.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, you saw the sign, you knew what you were getting into, and you felt suddenly, well, no, this is for me. It's not for everybody.
You know, if I'm at the urinal, I'm going to do the Leslie Nielsen, and I'm just going to turn. I'm going to fart as loud as I can, and if I'm in a stall, it's going to sound like I'm giving birth. You chose to be in there? Okay.
Well, what if it's the only option?
Okay, so it's the only option. Don't exclude men.
Yeah. Or don't.
He had every right to be in there.
Yeah.
She's saying, I felt so violated. I'm a victim. A crime was wrought on me in the bathroom because a man walked in. It's like, hey, I agree with you. It's an icky situation. I sure as hell didn't vote for that one.
No.
Who did? Who do we blame for gender-neutral bathrooms?
Oh, Kamala.
Democrats.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, honey.
I'm a Democrat and I don't like them.
Yeah, but it's your team. You know it is.
No.
You think Abe Lincoln's sitting there in the White House going, you know what we need, Jedediah?
Oh. There's a
We
difference.
need Mary Todd Lincoln.
No.
Mary Todd, get in.
No.
Mary Todd?
There's a difference between
It's such a Democrat-liberal
Democrat and woke.
Not much.
Yeah,
It's
there
on your
is.
team.
There is.
Where's the Mendoza line with this one, though?
There is.
If you said something, though, about what if she has no choice, that's the only bathroom?
Yeah.
If it says gender neutral, the decision is made for her.
But what if she really had to go? So I guess my thing is more like this. If it was me, I would probably feel the same way she does. My problem is her posting about it on social media.
Why would you feel violated, though, if men and women are invited in?
I agree, but like I said, she may have been to a place where she had to go to the bathroom and really had to go. This is her only choice to go.
Yeah.
And 2 guys walk in. One clearly felt the same way she did, so he waited. The other one was like, F it, I'm going to go. Who knows if there was a stall or a urinal or whatever. And she was probably like, thanks. That was cool of you. That was respectful.
You know what you get? You know what you get for that?
What?
You get 80 cents on the dollar for that attitude. You can't have both.
I didn't want both. It was forced on me.
If you want $1, get in the men's room. That's all there is to it. If she was in the ladies' room and 2 men walked in on her, I get it. Feel violated all day long.
Yes.
It's an open door. Anyone can come in.
You're being...
I'm sure.
but it was uncomfortable for her.
Oh, no.
Just like it was uncomfortable for the other guy that waited.
I almost saw his wiener. Well, you and I have been in men's bathrooms before, and it happens a lot at ball games too, where dads will bring a little girl in because
they have no choice.
Well, she just has to go and stuff. And guys, 99.9% of the time will be like, hey, little girl on deck, don't everyone, let her go into a stall or take care of her business. We get it.
Yeah.
But that's a men's bathroom that he's bringing a little girl into. And likewise, I'm sure moms will take little boys into a women's bathroom, et cetera, et cetera. But this is gender neutral.
Yes.
And
She didn't make the bathroom. The establishment
and
made
I know
the bathroom.
Okay, but then she also has a choice to not use that bathroom.
What if she really had to go?
Then what is it? Then buyer beware. I don't know what the Latin term for it is.
I can tell you, I've told this story before. I had to take my oldest daughter into the men's room. There was something about, with my first wife, Beth, we would take the kids out for dinner and she'd be like, I have no responsibilities tonight. I'm going to sit here with my margarita and enjoy night. Kids got to go to the bathroom. You take them.
Yeah.
David. This was just the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I take my little daughter to the bathroom.
Yep.
And of course, I was dispatched to the bathroom with instructions. Don't let her touch the seat. Hover her. Hover her.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got it. So we go into the men's room.
Yep.
4 or 5 stall men's room. It's crowded. It's dinner time. We go into the stall. We close the door. There's some struggling because it's not a big little room.
Always.
And so imagine the sounds. They're struggling.
Oh,
and I'm
God.
trying to get her undressed. And you hear,
Sure. Yep.
and she goes, Daddy,
Yep.
I love you.
Oh, God.
Captain America comes bursting in.
There was struggling, and then she said, I love you.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We weren't doing anything.
Did anybody go, hey, brother? Or anything like that? Because, I mean, seriously, if you're
I wasn't barged in on.
Okay.
No one came in to rescue.
But still, you're like, oh, God, make it
Oh,
worse.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Predator in the men's room.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I was expecting NBC to kick the door
Chris
down.
Hansen walks in.
Gotcha. You're on film.
Dave, why don't you have a seat right there?
Yeah.
Pretty rough.
Oh, yeah.
And what do you say to your daughter? She says, I love you. You got to say, I love you too.
You're the best.
Keep it between us. I got a final video to send you off with today here. And we thank everybody for watching this episode of the Dave Rickards Podcast. There's a couple of your teammates, Bernie Sanders and AO.
No.
You don't like these two?
Not really.
Are you distancing?
What kind of Democrat are you?
One for all for one?
Normal kind.
Doesn't exist. Sorry. can't help you.
Yes. Are you MAGA?
Am I MAGA?
I
saw this thing. I saw this thing when they arrested this judge in Milwaukee. Someone had posted a big sign. Is this what you voted for? Fuck yes, it is. The elimination of criminals? Yeah. I think it's what we all voted for when we signed up to be Americans who follow the law. But anyway, Bernie Sanders, and I don't even know her name. I just know AOC.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Okay.
Your representative from the Big Apple.
And these are the Batman and Robin this week anyway, of the Democrat Party. And so they're doing like a fog hat tour right now. Fog hat and Whitesnake together.
Are they on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I don't know. But they are. They're doing a tour, and there's a lot of carrying on, and they got people showing up. And these people are showing up for the World Sucks Committee. That's what it is. And we got this husband and wife who summed up perfectly their complaints with the state of the world. Let's enjoy.
Brought you out here today to the Bernie Sanders rally.
I don't like what's going on in our country right now. I'm just kind of disgusted by it.
What's the biggest risk?
Oh, gosh. What would you say, Dan? Well, I'll let you speak to that.
I don't know. I don't really care for the language that's being spoken right now in the country.
Can you give any examples of specific language?
Nope.
Yeah, there are idiots on both sides.
So many things, I don't even know where to start. I would say...
Pick one, anyone.
Oh, gosh, Dan, help. This is...
Dan, why are we here?
What's changed over the last couple months post-Biden administration for you guys?
Yeah, what changed?
Oh, gosh. Once again, where do we start?
I don't know where to start.
You go for this one.
I have an answer.
Just a whole list of things I can't think of right now.
Brought you out here today to the Bernie Sanders rally.
I don't like what's going on.
That's like you taking a Dave quiz.
You've been been listening to the Dave Rickards Podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes to come.